Hey everyone, I hope you've had a good week. My name is Jake and my channel is Jake Trades Invests, where I look at top commodities and indices and kind of give my opinion on where the stock markets may be headed. So we'll go ahead and jump right into the charts for this week and I'll give my opinion on where I think the markets may be going. So we'll start here with gold as usual. Again, like we said last week, gold broke out of its little triangle consolidation period, and it looks like it's continued to hold above that triangle this week. I would look for still maybe a pullback towards these 20 or 50 EMAs before heading higher, but gold looks like it has the momentum to head higher. Silver, it looks like, is still in the consolidation. It hasn't quite broken out of its downward resistance area here. It looks like we've bumped into it several times throughout the week and pulled back on Friday. However, I believe that we could build the momentum as long as gold continues to head higher. I think silver as well will build the momentum and could break out of its resistance area in the coming week or two. As for copper, it looks like we broke out last week and did our pullback and retest. We've kind of touched into these moving averages, this cluster of moving averages here. We had a buying day on Thursday and a little bit of selling on Friday. So copper is looking good to head higher, with its target being the 480 to 490 zone in the shorter term. Crude oil also looking like it broke out pretty strongly about a week ago and pulled back down into its resistance zone. So again, I think oil may be doing its retest here, allowing some of the moving averages to kind of catch up before heading higher. So maybe a little bit of consolidation to come into this week. But in the coming 2 or 3 weeks, I would think oil is probably also going to head higher. Natural gas is still looking strong. We're continuing to hold above this support area. I'm going to just extend that out a little bit. It looks like we're following the 20 EMA pretty closely. We had a big selling day on Monday, it looks like, but some strong buying stepping back in and pushing the price back up. We're sitting around the $4 mark now, so I think natural gas looks good to come higher and test this 480 to $5 zone up above in the coming week or two. So now we'll flip over to our indices. It looks like the S&P broke out of its flag pattern here like we talked about last week. Again, we may see a little bit of sideways consolidation, pull back to fill some of these smaller gaps, and also to allow the moving averages to catch up before heading higher, but S&P looks like it's good to head higher. Nasdaq, it looks like, has the same story. We were in this flag pattern here. We broke out earlier in the week with a gap higher. Like the S&P, I could see the Nasdaq maybe pulling back for a couple of days to fill this gap, retest these moving averages that are heading higher, retest the breakout area, and so on before it heads higher. The Dow Jones looks like it's had a pretty strong week this week. We did gap higher at the end of last week, and we've continued that momentum to the upside. I could see us maybe stalling out. We still have this gap down here, so if something crazy were to happen and it pulled all the way back down, it could be a good buying opportunity. But I would think that maybe a little bit of consolidation and a pause in the price for now could be coming before testing the all-time highs. And for the Russell 2000, it looks like we've kind of stalled into a little bit of a consolidation pattern over the last few days to end the week. But again, like all of the other indices, I think, once this consolidation finalizes, it looks like the momentum is up, and I would expect the Russell 2000 to continue to head higher as well. And lastly, we'll look here at Bitcoin. Bitcoin did break out at the beginning of the week with some strong candles. And it looks like we've had a little bit of consolidating going into the end of the week, but momentum looks to be to the upside. So I would think, the price will get back up to the 110,000 level and maybe even a little further for the short term. So anyway, that's all I have for this week. I appreciate you tuning in. Go watch last week's video if you haven't checked it out and see how my analysis compares to last week's. And if you find value from any of these videos, I'd appreciate a like and a comment. Also subscribe if you'd like. And we'll see you again next week. Thanks.